Hello, listeners. Welcome to Audio Stories Library. Today is the fifth episode of Five Little Friends. The text of the story will be displayed on the screen, and you can read along with me to practice. Once I finish reading this episode, a list of vocabulary and the synonyms will be displayed on the screen, and I will explain them for you. So, shall we now listen to what happened to the feast that the little girls arranged for the fairies in the wood? That night, Betty could not go to sleep for a long time. She lay in the bed and watched the moonbeams. I wonder, she thought, whether the fairies will come. I wonder whether the man in the moon is looking down at them now. I wonder. And then she went to sleep and dreamed that she was dancing around and around the magic ring with the man in the moon. All around them, fairies were sliding up and down from the treetops to the mossy ground on silver moonbeams. The next day, the children went to the woods to see whether the fairies had been there. Betty reached the spot first and cried out joyfully, "They came! They came!" And sure enough, the leaf plates were empty. Every strawberry, every crumb of cake was gone. "The fairies really came," said the other little girls as they stood around the magic ring. "Tweet, tweet, tweet," sang a bird in a treetop. "Tweet, tweet, tweet." He cocked his little head and looked very wise and knowing. But tweet, 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 tweet was all he said. One of the things Peggy and Betty and Dot liked best to do was to watch Mrs. White skim the rich cream from the great pans of milk in the dairy. The dairy was down by the brook, and the pans of milk were on shelves near the water, so that they were kept fresh and cool. One very warm day, Mary said, "Let's play dairy." "All right," said Betty. "All right," echoed Peggy and Dot. "You show us how." So Mary brought 2 big pans and 2 pieces of soap from the kitchen. She filled the pans with water and put a piece of soap in each pan. Then she told the other children to watch the cream rise. She began to shake the soap about in the water, and the suds rose higher and higher. "It's rather white cream," she said, "but we can play it comes from a cow named Snowball." "It's splendid cream," cried the 3 little girls. "May we help make it? I wonder whether Molly will let us use her cream skimmers," said Mary. Molly heard her name and came to the kitchen door to see what mischief those blessed children were up to now. She saw the pans on a seat built round a big maple tree, and the 4 little girls bobbing about very busy indeed. "Molly, will you please let us have the skimmers?" Peggy cried. "Well," replied Molly, "as it's clean dirt you are making, I suppose I must." So Mary and Betty made the cream rise, and Dot and Peggy skimmed it and poured it into bottles and old cans to sell. While they were in the midst of the fun, Red Chief, the proudest rooster in the farmyard, came strutting along. He put his head on one side and looked at the pans. "Took, took, took. Is it feeding time?" he said. "Took, took, took. I must see. I must see, I must see. With that, he flapped his great red wings and flew up on the side of the pan. Now, Red Chief was a heavy rooster and the pan was not very firm. Down tumbled the pan and Red Chief together. The make believe cream and milk went all over him. Such a wet, cross, disgusted rooster you never saw. Took, took, took. He croaked as he shook the soap suds from his feathers. Then away he marched, scolding to himself about little girls who played silly games. One afternoon, the children were out in the orchard playing lady. Mary and Betty were the mothers in the game. Peggy and Dot were the children. Betty had a long skirt and a fine grown lady's hat. Mary had a scarf trailing on the ground instead of a long skirt, and she carried her mother's very best umbrella. It was a bright red one that could be used for sun as well as rain. It made Mary feel very grown up indeed. The two play families made their homes under the trees. They paid visits back and forth. They gave tea parties. The children had measles and mumps and were put to bed on the grass with leaf plasters over their faces. Mary was Mrs. Ray and Dot was her little daughter Lily. At last, Mrs. Ray sent Lily to the meadow to buy some flowers. Dot danced gaily away. Just as she was gathering the flowers, a bright blue butterfly lighted near her and then flew a little farther on. He seemed to be inviting her to race with him. So off Dot started. Her fat little legs seemed to twinkle over the grass, but the butterfly went faster still. Away he flew across the pasture, away over the fence into the next lot. Dot paused only a minute. Then she slipped under the wire of the fence and followed. On and on she went. She did not notice where she was going, but the butterfly fluttered far ahead and was soon out of sight. Then Dot stopped and looked around. She was in a strange field. No living thing was about. Yes, something was moving over in the far corner. It turned around and seemed to sniff the air. Poor little Dot stood almost frozen with fright. It was Big Ben. Then Dot did the worst thing she could have done. She gave a loud cry and began to run. Big Ben shook himself and sniffed the air again. Then he began to come toward her in great bounds with his head down. Back in the orchard, the make-believe Mrs. Ray had begun to wonder why her little girl was staying so long. At last, with her scarf across her shoulders and her umbrella over her head, she went out to find her daughter. Mary reached the meadow just as Dot screamed. For a moment, she stood still and looked around. The meadow was empty. Then she knew that little Dot was in the field with Big Ben. Swift as the wind, Mary ran on, closing the umbrella as she went. Under the fence, she crept and ran toward Dot. Poor little Dot was running and stumbling and crying. Big Ben was bounding nearer and nearer. "Don't be afraid," Mary called as she came up to the little girl. Then Mary did a strange thing. She opened the red umbrella and whirled it around and around. Then she threw it toward Big Ben as far as it would go. It went rolling over the grass, with Big Ben bounding wildly after it. The red umbrella made him so angry that he forgot all about the little girls. Mary and Dot crept under the fence to safety. Oh, mother, sobbed Mary when the children reached home and told the story. Oh, mother, your lovely red umbrella is all ruined. But my little girl is safe, said Mrs. White, and she has saved the life of her little friend. Mrs. White put her arm around Mary and held her tightly and drew little Dot to her too, just as Dot's own mother would have done. The end of episode number 5 of Five Little Friends. We will now look into the vocabularies and their synonyms. The first one is moonbeams. It's nothing but the ray of moonlight. Second one is crumb. It's the small piece of bread or cake or biscuit. Cocked, tilt in a particular direction. Skim is to remove the thin layer from the surface of a liquid. For example, skimmed milk, in which the cream of the milk will be removed. Dairy, a building or room for the processing, storage and distribution of milk and milk products. Suds, froth made from soap and water. It's nothing but the creamy frothy stuff, right? When soap and water are mixed together, that's called sud. Strutting, walking with a stiff, erect and apparently arrogant body language. Tumbled, fell. Orchard, a piece of enclosed land planted with fruit trees. Example, apple orchard. Trail is to be drawn along behind someone or something. Measles is an infectious viral disease causing fever and a red rash. Most probably in our childhood, most of us would have come across this disease. Flutter, flap the wings quickly and lightly, like how the butterflies do. Sniff is to draw up air audibly through the nose to detect a smell, like how the bull do. Make believe is to imitate something that is real, to pretend as if someone is someone else. Scream is to make a loud, high pitched sound. Whirl, spin round and round rapidly. Sometimes in ocean or river, the whirlpool will be formed where the water rotates round and round and everything gets pulled into the hole. The spinning action is called whirl. Bounding is to jump or leap forward or upward, is called bounding. Sobbed, cry noisily. Ruined, having been irreparably damaged or harmed. Something that has been damaged and that it could not be rectified any further, that's called ruined. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed today's session. Let's catch up in our next episode of Five Little Friends. Please do subscribe to Audio Stories Library and press the bell icon next to it. Thank you. Bye for now.